Well, dear one, if you analyze your life from relationship point of view with people, your partners in life, then you may be just a bit, you may just not analyze it at all because your present relationship is going okay. Or if you don't have a present relationship or it's not going okay, things aren't opening up for the better, then you may analyze it from a disaster point of view. Now you need to analyze it from a finding God point of view. And then it's all an astonishing success, of course, because you found God, and you wouldn't be analyzing it from finding God point of view unless you had found God. That's straightforward, isn't it? So I've just experienced my second son wedding, and I took my 13-year-old daughter there. I was amazed she came and so on, and it was all very good in its way, except, well, my daughter hardly related to anyone there, and minimally related to me. She didn't just stick close by. During the service, she was somewhere else in the congregation, so to speak. And it was a Fijian Hindu wedding, because my daughter-in-law, my second son's partner, they're getting married, and she was Fijian Indian. So the wedding was done entirely by the bride's parents, and the groom, my son, had his mum and dad there, me and my second wife, and we're in good relationship to each other from the point of view of we're civil and, we can cope socially. It's not a problem, it's good. Although I see her almost not at all, of course, because she's married. Again, her partner, her husband, was not there. He stayed at home, looked after the dogs and so on, some distance away, a few hours drive away. And, where was I? And so now I'm the morning after the wedding, and I'm just reviewing. And if I review from the point of view of life's relationships, well, tremendous happiness and blessing and love, but at the same time, a desperate loss of 3 wives leaving. And I wouldn't be experiencing it if I was happily married a 4th time, so to speak, now. But I'm not, I'm single. Now you see, in that narrow, confined thing, so there's reason to be depressed and wonder where did life all go wrong. Because I've spent a day or two preoccupied with well, not my God, really, but a wedding going on, Hindu wedding, which is, my second son, and, once reviewing life from life's point of view, don't. Dear one, do not review life from life's point of view. Because from life's point of view here, in this world and in this universe, everything passes. You seem to come from nothing and go to nothing. I'm in the narrow confines of one's worldly sensitivity. Whereas, if you see it from the point of view of life eternal and coming to know God, then the whole experience of life was most wonderfully worth it. And you say to yourself, well, I don't know. Yes, but you don't know that it's nothing either. There's a complete equality there. You can choose to believe that, life is just the worldly living and will vanish. Or you can choose to believe that it's meaningful and it causes you to inherit life eternal. Which do you choose? Well, not rocket science. You choose the best option. So I choose to trust. And then I review life from endgame point of view. Endgame is eternal life now, not blank, nothing. Do you see? In other words, has this life been successful or not? Are you going to end up with a handful of nothing? Or are you going to end up with eternal life in heaven? Way beyond what you can imagine now. The child can't envisage adult life, not really. They just know mum's always there, ideally perhaps, and dad goes off to work and comes home in the evening. That's a sort of bare bones type approach that was traditionally the case. Now it may be they both go off to work and, well, you don't know what you have really. You just have your mobile phone and a few friends that don't treat you well. This is the tragedy of Western secular 21st century life. So what do we do with this dilemma that those around us face? Well, we love on them. We love on them with the riches that we have, which is a trust in a God that loves them. We come to their aid and rescue. And God has us do this as and when He gives opportunity, namely where it fits. Don't go ramming it down the throats of people that don't want to hear. Remember those that have ears to hear. Let them hear. That's in the Jesus story that says when and where you should operate. When and where you should give blessing. Don't cast not your pearls unto swine. Very bold way of saying it. But be a good economist. Use it where you should. And don't use it where they just crucify you for it. Learn from the Jesus story. You find that it's a tremendous blessing. Don't learn from the religions of the world, for they've been corrupted by the world to the perceived needs of fallen elites that are not enlightened. So you turn to your God. As I have said elsewhere, the personification of what you truly at heart value, and devote yourself to him with all your heart, soul, mind and strength, according to the biblical story, the Jesus story too. In fact, according to the Jesus story, just see him as your heavenly dad. Perfect heavenly dad. In other words, loves you. And if you think of it, loves all his children then. And if he is indeed the Lord, the giver of life, which we assume he is, all powerful, all wonderful, then it's reasonable to expect that he loves all that he's made. And he's well able to bring all that he's made to glory, which in the Jesus story terms is life eternal. And what is life eternal? Bizarrely, strangely it seems, coming from the world, to know thee, the only true God, your God. And so you see this life now with purpose, with meaning, that it was to come to know God. In what sense can the child know the adult? Oh, in trust that the adult is everything to the life of the child. That they love us, in other words. If you've known love, if you've received the kingdom of heaven as little child, then you can enter into the kingdom of heaven here and now, in this world. The Jesus story terms, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. It's nearby. You can reach out, take it. Simple as that. And then he tells us it's within you. Kingdom of heaven is within you. You already have it. You don't have to think, when I die, do I go to heaven? Or do I go to, say, as the Hindus understand it, most probably to some astral world, or perhaps a causal world. Higher still. No, you go to heaven in terms of the Jesus story. Because you come to know God. And, yes, we understand that we're talking spiritually. God is spirit, and if we are a child of God, as indeed the Jesus story emphasizes over 100 times, by calling him Father, 200 times if you take the 4 Gospels together, not just John. And if you know him as Father, then you realize that you too must be spirit. And the flesh, well, obviously the flesh is passing and transitory. A great blessing in that it was the vehicle that brought you to God. It was the opportunity being here. And it's successful, or you would not be analyzing it here and now from that point of view. So life has meaning. There is no regrets for you, because it was all apparently necessary if you wish to put your trust in a God that is all-powerful. And now we come to the conclusion, all loving. Welcome to the kingdom of heaven. Thank you, Heavenly Dad.